this is what we're gonna try making today. Okay, we're gonna try making this. This is a teddy sofa, I think is what it's called. I think it's called like a teddy sofa. It's what I googled. I'd seen it online a couple of times, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of neat. I like the shape. I like how it's corded. You know, I'm not gonna bother with the pillows and the blankie. I'm not too like fussed about any of that. Hang on, I need to put a little bit of. Let me put some music on. Let me put some lo-fi on real quick, because I feel like making shit calls for lo-fi.
Might expect epic tier.
Okay, yeah, cheers. Just like start playing the last video I was watching was about blueprint farming in Arc Raiders. Great game, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Great game, ladies and gentlemen. We played it on Tuesday. I had a lot of fun doing that. Anyway, so this is what we're gonna make. We're gonna try and make this today. So kind of square, but nice and soft. And we're gonna go through the whole process. And I may even take this entire segment and just throw it up on YouTube and make a little thumbnail as well. I may do that. And I'm going to try my best to do it without mistakes. I'm going to do it all in one go, and just hopefully I'll put it all together and it just works. Okay. What are my credentials? To be like, hey, do I think I can do this? 2 years 3D art professionally, working for indie dev. Okay. And I've made a pack before. And I've made probably like 10 different CC meshes at this point. I have no idea how to do like create a sim stuff. No clue. So if you're asking like, hey Joe, how do I make this dress? Respectfully, fuck yourself. I haven't got a clue. And I'm not interested in it. You saw me try and make a sim. You saw how Barbie turned out, you know? Or Barbie in this case. But yeah, this is the plan today. And what we're going to do, like any good artist, we're going to take reference. So we're going to take this, pop it in what we call pure ref. Okay. And this means we can like keep it on the screen. And we're going to pop it in here and make this a little bit smaller like that. I know you can't see it. I'm about to change that for you. Probably only need it about about that big or so. And then let's move it. Let's move the whole lot over here. Okay. So yeah, here is our little reference. I guess I have to keep it kind of up here, maybe even a little bit smaller. And then if we do mode, always on top. Where can I download the pack? If you type in !CC, I have a Patreon now, which is a free Patreon, by the way. There's no paywalls or anything like that. Not in a minute, at least. I don't really know. Some people are like, hey, like people can choose to support you if you want, but yeah, I don't really feel comfortable yet with doing something like that. Once I start providing value, then like maybe I can be like, hey, let's do it. Right, let's make it. Let's make some CC. So every single piece of custom content that you see will start in a little program called Sims 4 Studio. Okay, we'll start in a little program called Sims 4 Studio, which is this boy right here. This guy. We'll make it a little bit bigger. And from here, you can kind of decide what kind of work you're going to be doing. Excuse me. So, because we're going to make our own mesh and like textures and everything, we're going to click on Create 3D Mesh and then hit Object and go from here. So, we're going to be making a sofa. So, we are going to type in sofa up here, and it shows us a bunch of sofas which we can like base ours off. I actually believe this is every sofa in the game currently, so it gives you a wide variety. It also gives you a quick look to see like, hey, is there anything similar to what I'm going to make? So am I making something that already exists, or am I bringing something fresh to the table? So I see this as, is this a 2-man or a 3-man, do you reckon, boys? Is it a 2-man or a 3-man? I wonder if it is a 3-man. It's a 2-man? Okay, so it's like it's a love seat, really, right? Is that how the Sims say it? Him says 3-man. Toxic says 2-man. Isn't there a base game couch that's boxy? I don't know. Maybe I'm typing in the wrong thing. Couch? Not that I can see. One, you'd say 3. I think it's dependent on the size of the individual. I think we're gonna start with a love seat as a base, though. I also think it needs to be one word, right? Yeah. Here we go. So, oh, here's a really boxy one, but it's not quite the vibe we're after. Squarely, their modern love seat. Okay. So this is a 2x1 item. Oh, this one's kind of similar as well, sort of, but not quite. So yeah, first thing you want to do, you want to pick the mesh that you want to base yours off, and we're just gonna use this boxy one for now, and we click next. Let's go Sims 4 CC, and we'll make... What do we call this? What do we call this? What's another name for, like, Teddy? I mean, you've got Bear, or you got We could call it like snuggly sofa. Call it snuggly. Hello, Trevor. Good to see you. Ginger couch. Why ginger? We're going to try and do multiple swatches for this as well. Or we just call it like teddy sofa, I guess, is what it's kind of called. It's corduroy, so we could call it corded love seat. I don't know. Or yeah, let's just call it the corded love seat for now. Marshmallow. Marshmallow is kind of good because they're kind of blocky, aren't they? Yeah. Marshmallow love seat. All right. We'll call it marshmallow love seat. I fuck with that. Yo, Itchy on YouTube of all places. I'm here on the red side tonight, getting me some drops on the purple side. Dude, Itchy, no problem. How are you, bro? Good to see you. I hope you've had a good weekend. Bear Hug is a good name, but I think we'll rock with Marshmallow. It's kind of nice. Okay, so we'll do the basics first. Marshmallow love seat. Oops, love seat. We'll just change the name. And this is where things get kind of cool. So you can obviously change your price and all the other bits and pieces here and styles and all that kind of stuff. But we'll deal with that in a bit. We want to go to meshes tab. We want to hit find the LOD, and we want to hit export mesh. So we're going to take the mesh and export it pretty much. And that will give us a blend file. .blend, which you open in Blender. Okay. And it's not super important what version of Blender you use. I use a relatively new one just because that's what I use for work. And once we open it up, here we go. Citrine Dream. I hate the couch. Please fix her. Citrine Dream. What you can see in the top right is actually what we're going to be working towards today. That is our reference. So we actually might need to just like, if I move it up here, no. Where can I move? Maybe I put it down. Maybe I put it down here. There you go. Okay, so then this is what you get out of Sims 4 Studio. This is their mesh, okay, with their texture on it. So you can see it does have like a bit of like not roughness to it, but like fabric-y kind of look. And the only thing you need to worry about before starting to make your own mesh is this cut number here, okay? And this is a plugin which comes with Sims 4 Studio. So once you install Sims 4 Studio, it will look for Blender and ask you to install this plugin. This is very, very important. So it's cut number 1. That's all we need to worry about. I didn't realize it's kind of raised in the middle and shit like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear this up. We don't need the lamps. We don't need that. We don't really need the rig either. We have the floor where you can see like the shadow mesh right here. And you have the sofa as well, which is really, really neat. But we're not actually going to use this. We are going to just kind of use it as a bit of a base of where butts will be sitting, and gives us a bit of an idea for width as well. So, I mean, it's a relatively easy-ish shape to make. We'll obviously have the metal bars in here as well. We'll keep it all relatively consistent. So, first off, let's make kind of the base. Let's get our base foundation down, and I would just approach this with cubes. Okay, I would approach this with cubes. Let's make it a bit smaller and kind of get something going here. So you notice that there's no feet on this sofa whatsoever, which is interesting. Okay, there's no feet, and it's probably a deeper sofa than this one, I would say. I don't know how deep, but it's pretty deep. Shazy on TikTok. Hello, Shazy. Thank you very much for the kind words. Welcome on in. We're literally just getting started, so hope you enjoy the process. What you see in the bottom right of the screen, I guess if you're on TikTok, you can see it here. That's what we're working towards today. So let's get our base kind of sizing down. I think I actually want it to be a little bit wider as well, so people have more room. It's not quite the height I want, so we're going to take this and ping it up a bit, I guess. We'll put the origin to the geometry and probably move this bottom section just like up a touch, a bit like that. Okay, and then we'll want 2 of these, but let's get a little bit more of this roundedness going on. So we can use a nice little like bevel modifier, I'd say. I think we can safely move this out of the way now as well. Like we don't really care about that. I just wanted to see like where people were sitting. This is already too thick, by the way. I think I need this to be thinner. I'm quickly removing the foot shadow pieces from the plane underneath because obviously this sofa does not have feet. So we don't need individual shadows for the feet. So we're just going to get rid of that. We'll probably have like a base shadow, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see. So we've got this here, and then let's do a bit of beveling just to kind of add some softness to it. Let's go like, how high a poly do I want this to be? Not super high poly, I don't think, but we can introduce some more at some point. We're going to add some loop cuts like this so we can add a little bit more abnormality to it. We shade that smooth, and then we have something like this, and we need a second. So we're going to drop it down. Actually, we're going to do this a really cool way instead. We're going to use a little modifier. We're using an array modifier. So an array is like a group of things, and we are creating an array, but we don't want lots going like that. I want one that goes underneath it perfectly. So we go in the z-axis, put that by -1, factor on the x, 0, and then this gives us a nice little double stack, and we can see that it actually clips into the ground right now. So we're going to take the scale of this on the Z and just kind of put it up a bit like that, and then we get something along those lines. Okay, now looking at our reference, is this going to be a really chunky boy? I wonder if it needs to be lower. Let me just slam this over here. Well, the seating position looks about the same. Maybe it's a little bit high, so we're going to move this down until it's about here and do the same thing again. Scale this on the Z until it's kind of on the ground like that. And then we'll say that's like our two base pieces for now. Yeah, that feels a lot better. And then we've got like these bars, which we can deal with. I imagine they run all the way underneath. So we'll make those in a minute. Now we've got like these kind of L pieces. I guess there's a few ways we can go about this, because it's an L piece which has got like an arc in the corner of it. So, I mean, what is the best way to go about this? What is the best way to go about this? First off, let's get positionally one of these looking okay. I'd say that's a bit big. It might need to be something along these sort of lines. Maybe even that's a bit big, honestly. Actually, looking at the scale, this face here looks almost as big as both of these. Not both of these nuts. You know what I'm saying? So we'll line it up kind of like here, I reckon. And we'll... God, it's probably watching this like, why are you doing it like this? It's like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. I just feel like it. And then we'll do a little cut here. Actually looks like this is... Oh, this comes right to the end. I just realized this comes right the way to the end of this, like that. And then we'll do... This goes to the middle like that. This is my inspiration to start making CC. Shazy, if you are interested, I've got tutorials and kind of like walkthroughs on my YouTube. If you want to see it, just literally type in like Sims 4 CC, and I'm like one of the most recent creators doing content on it, which is pretty neat. So you can always have a look there. So we got this kind of shit going on. If we do a bit of a bevel here, how are we looking? If I apply the scale, apply my scale real quick. We do something like that and put a couple more edge loops in it, because we don't want it to be like square, really, do we? We don't want it to be square. We want to take these. Where's my proportional editing? It's down here. Oh shit. And we're gonna like start to drag it up just like a little bit, a bit like that. All right. And now we've got to do the same kind of thing with these. You're gonna join the Discord and have a look. Wonderful. Also, there's a Patreon. N.O. Kian. Hi, can you teach me how to make Sims for machinima in Blender? Machinimas being like animated stuff, right? So I haven't actually had to do a machinima before, but I believe all of that is actually done in the game. All of like your favorite stuff like that is done in the game. I've never actually had to do it, unfortunately, so I'm not the best person to show you. The closest thing that I get to doing anything like machinima is when I do B-roll. So when I get footage of stuff that I've made, and I had to download some CC, which was like a floor and a wall, which was really green. So then I could edit the video and mask out the green. But as far as like making the Sims do something in a particular way, I have no experience, I'm afraid. And I'd rather not kind of lead you on like that without knowing. I'm really sorry. Right, so we've got this kind of shape going on, which is kind of like this, I would say. I'd say it's kind of like that. We probably want to introduce a little bit more downwards kind of stuff here. Maybe here like this. We just kind of press it down a little bit. And then imagine someone's like been sat here. So we'll take this section and just kind of pull it down just like a little. You see how it's kind of making this crease here? As if someone's been resting their arm. I kind of fuck with that. We'll do the same on this corner. Just like pull it down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Something along those lines. How's that looking in terms of the reference? Maybe we need to plump stuff up like a little bit more. It's still not quite as like balloony as I think it needs to be. Maybe something like this. No, because that's kind of gone like, it's too much. What if I were to do something like that? It's a tough one, actually. Like, I didn't even think about the process too much before doing it. But what would we bring those down? No, because then now I've got like this peak at the top. I don't really want that. What if I actually get rid of these loops right here? Get these, and then we'll add another bevel. It kind of rounds it all off. This is quite high poly, but we can go back and amend stuff later on. Not all of these loops are necessary. Like, for example, like we can start to take most of like these vertices and just kind of like, oops, we can put them in here, then they're gone. You know what I mean? We can take like this shit, put them in there, because we don't need all the geometry everywhere, but we'll come back and properly figure that out when we go piece by piece. So I actually think it needs to be bigger. I actually think it needs to be a bit bigger. So if I scale it up, obviously it looks a little bit weird, but if we line it up with the corner piece a bit like this, we'll move this section back, move this back here, and this one back here a bit. We'll get this going to the center a bit like that, and what we'll do is we'll put the origin, so this little dot here is like the origin of the mesh, and we want to put that in the 3D cursor and apply all transforms. We're gonna then put a little mirror on this, and there you go. That gives us something like this. Now what are we thinking initially? Is it rounded enough? I don't know if it is. I'm wondering if it's worth like just giving this another go. Or what makes it not rounded? Does this need to come out some more? Maybe proportionally edit something like that. That kind of makes it balloon a little bit more. I feel like this gap here is also putting me off. But I think with texture it'll be okay. I think with texture that will actually be okay right there. Now I've added these extra loop cuts, but actually this is very flat, so I don't even know if we need those or those. I think we can have that flat, potentially. I do wonder if it needs to be a little bit more beveled though. It's quite blocky though. This is quite a blocky little guy. If we do something like this, I think a lot of this will come out in the texture, but I do want to at least give some of these like little dents and divots a bit of a go. So proportionally edit, do like some stuff like this. Just kind of start to knock away some of the normalities, just to make it a little bit more like lived in. You know what I mean? So like back like here, we could maybe like push some of this back a bit, or have it like crumple forwards a touch. Down here, we can probably do the same. We take like these sections and we'll pull them out. Just gives it a little bit more. Like, for example, we could like take that, like lift it up just like a little bit. Take like in here, lift it. No, we'll take this one actually, lift it up a little. It's kind of couch where you got a white girl sitting surrounded by 5 black men. Yeah, we're making the casting couch. 100%. She'd be sitting right here and all the guys are like around her, right? That's how it would go. So Dream's like, fucking, oh. Anyway, we're gonna make the bars now. Let's make the bars. They're probably rounded, but we don't want them like super rounded. We want to share kind of that low poly-ish nature of the Sims. Probably a decagon will be enough to kind of get the job done. That implies roundness right here. That implies roundness. Beautiful. How are you, good sir? Have you had a wonderful weekend? Let's rotate it on the x-axis. And yeah, we're gonna do some tomfoolery like this. So it's quite small. Let's put it kind of like this. Get this goddamn sofa out of here. Big Z. Hello, Big Z. Right. Let's stretch it like this. I think it goes a bit like that. Stuff in Noon Place almost all weekend. Yo, how you finding the new digs? Are you enjoying it? Them? Maybe something like that. Or was that too? That may be a little bit too skinny for my liking. We'll do something along these lines. I think we're gonna take this, duplicate this, spin it, fuck, spin it, fuck, spin it like that. There we go. And it's a big corner, so I reckon it'll be something along those lines. Let's apply all transform. Oops, sorry. Apply scale, and we're gonna bridge these two faces together. All right. And then look, we get to make this kind of like curve thing going on. We'll place out of magic. It's going to turn out very nice. I'm excited for you, man. Bedroom is yet to be delivered. I mean, Georgia and I are still at a position where we need to buy furniture, but we're like, oh, fuck, like we don't want it. It's spenny, very expensive. We're gonna do a little mirror, so then we get this kind of thing going on. And these actually do go underneath. So we're gonna take this and this. We're gonna bring them down to like here, right? And then looks like we might need to move everything around just like a little, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's duplicate these faces, put them like here. All right. We're going to bridge this one and this one together with like 3 cuts. That's fine. This one and this one together with like 3 cuts. Okay. And then we'll take this face, and stretch them out, bang into the middle. Put the origin on the 3D cursor, which is like bang in the center. Okay, scale it and hit just one more mirror, and that will put it on the other side like that. Okay, now we have this bar that's running through the whole thing. Real wire couches, literally $4,000. I don't know, and I'm looking for fucking a wardrobe for a very particular space. Okay, it fucks me off. I hate it. I hate it, man. Anyway, take our shit and we're gonna raise it up. We're gonna raise it up just a bit. Okay, we're gonna raise it up like that. Okay, so that's practically our sofa shape right there. What do we think? Are we kind of like in the realm? I actually wonder if this wants to come up and not down. You found a shower head, dude. That's old man shit. I love it. I'm a big proponent of old man shit like that. I was looking at a car yesterday and I got excited about a camera on it. Our rain showers are good. But George and I got a rain head. It's good. Yeah, something like that. I actually think I've just ruined. Yeah, that needs to be like that. But that looks pretty good, right? I'd say that's to reference. What we like here. Okay, we've got some duplicating vertices for some reason, or there's like extra faces somewhere. Because you see, okay, well, something is going on here. Hang on. Let me hit a mirror, like bang, 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 like that. And then what if I merge? What is going on in here? What do you? Oh, it's an extra face in here, right? What? Hang on, what have I done? What have I done here? What is going on with this? Maybe it's the normals need to be recalculated. Yeah, there you go. Normals, good old normals, boys. The faces you should be seeing are on the wrong side. Lovely. Okay, so we'll say this is like our our basic kind of shape here. Just trying to line it up with the reference. I'm fucking with it. Okay, so we need to apply this mirror, apply that, and then we stick everything together so it's all one. And yeah, we'll keep the shadow in, but just make it slightly bigger. So it's like that, and we'll make it like that. Just the owner of the Minecraft server tell me to stop giving new people never right. Why is that? You're doing a good thing. Okay, so now we need to get rid of this. Need to UV unwrap it. As a true CC creator, there should also be a free person and also an armchair. I mean, a free person would be easy. An armchair wouldn't make sense, I don't think, for this. I don't know. I could do it. Don't get me wrong. Your boy's got the talent. But I'm just trying to think, like, how would you do it properly? Nah. Let's just go through this one. And then if people are like, hey, I really want it, because I'll put this up on my Patreon. I even show you how I make the I'll show you how I make the thumbnail and everything. We'll go like from nothing to like a full Patreon post if you want. I'm down for that today. I it's not easy as such, but it's a good thing to do. Anyway, so we need to UV unwrap this now. What is UV unwrapping? It's like saying, hey Joe, I need to cut out my mesh. So I need to cut out my mesh so then I can lay it flat, because when it's flat, we can texture it better. So if I do a seam here, we'll do a seam here, we'll do a seam here, we'll do a seam here and a seam here. And I want to know why it's not going all the way. Oh, probably because of this. Get rid of these faces. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. There we go. And then there we go. That's all good. Could we perhaps do an L shape? We could do whatever you want me to do. We do need to unwrap this though. Oh, actually, here's a cool tip. So any faces that you won't see. So for example, this big face here, this one, you're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to be able to see it. So what we do is we just delete it. Because if I put everything back, you can't even tell it's missing. You can't even tell it's missing. Same with this one. Under here, you're not going to see it. Get rid of it. You don't need it. Just see it later. You got on these, look, all this stuff under here. We just don't need it. So we're gonna do something like this, and like this. We just heat the faces. We just don't need them. We just don't need to see them. They say it saves room on your UV tile. So your where texture is, it will be high resolution. It will look nicer. Okay. It's a little bit weird how it's perfectly mirrored when it comes to the like insang and stuff. So I'm actually just gonna like fuck these around just like a little bit, just to kind of like make them a little bit different. Just a little, nothing too much. I wonder if I can get rid of, if I get rid of that, how does that look? If I get rid of that and that, how does that even look? I wonder if yeah, it's too squared off, I think. I prefer it like that. I was seeing if I could get rid of some of the verts, but I don't think I can. Right, anyway, we do need to unwrap these. So we will see this big face and we will see this. So how do we want to do it? Don't really want to have to put a seam here, but I think I will. Well, I could connect these up. I could do something like this, where I connect this, connect this, connect this, and connect this. I can then select that face and not mark it sharp. We can select seam and we can add seams maybe on the corners. That would be right. So then if we unwrap it, it kind of looks like this, but it should all be disconnected. Why are you not disconnected? Ah, right. Yes, because I need to have it come down to here as well. Yeah, of course. So connect that and that, and we mark them as seams. So what I'm doing, when you see it, like I'm pressing 1, 2, and 3 to go from vert mode to edge mode to face mode. So it depends on like what I'm selecting. Okay, and it just allows me to choose what I want to be kind of working with. And you kind of, I mean, I don't even think about it anymore, but you just kind of go from one to the other without even thinking. So that's that one unwrapped. We want to now do the same here, but obviously it is reversed. So we could get rid of this face underneath, but just in case, because I'm not sure how that will react. So I'm actually gonna keep it in for now. So we're gonna join up all these vertices like this, so it bridges this little corner like that, and last one like this and like this. We're gonna select every one of these corners, all right, as well as each edge of this big section here. Mark it as a seam, unwrap it. There we go. So we've got the big face, which is this section here, the two longer bits and the two shorter bits. How is the bar looking? It is just one giant piece, but it shouldn't be. Oh, it's because it's selecting by seam instead of normal. Okay, that's how that looks. We can probably take these, move this over here, and we want to rectify it. What is rectify, Joe? Well, we want to, you see these are all squares. We want it to be nice and straight. So we can do rectify and it just turns them into bits like that, which is really, really nice. All right. So lastly, we got this malarkey going on. So, I mean, it's not too bad. If I get rid of these, no, we will move them out though a bit, I think. We will move these out. Just a touch. We're going to turn off the editing. These ones we're going to just move out ever so slightly. Just a little bit to make that corner not so harsh. Right, so how are we going to unwrap these? Great question. Great motherfucking question. Let's see here. I mean, if I just do a standard unwrap, okay, that's like that. That's like that. That's fine. So we haven't got a bottom face. We can do the same sort of thing where we are kind of taking these corners, making full edges all the way around like this. All right. And we can do the same up here. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Connect that. Connect that. Connect that. And then connect those two. So we can select all of these. And I'm hoping I mark them as a seam and unwrap that, what's that looking like? That kind of looks like that. It might bake okay, though. You know what I mean? It might bake okay. Powerkey says, I'm on a train. I can't hear the stream. Has the chat gone feral yet? No, they haven't. Is there cause for them to go feral? Is there cause? Let me mark that as a seam as well if I forgot that one. That's all right. Where is this section? Where is this? Where are you? Is there a face in here? There is a fucking face in here. Get rid of that. We don't need that face. Then we got something like that. Okay. Then Killbot hasn't mentioned anything. Is Killbot the most... Who's the most feral? Who is the most feral of them all in the chat room? Who is the most feral of them all? I have my suspicions. But I guess feral can mean different things to different people, you know? There's like feral in terms of showing an interest in like their little... in their interests, which happen to maybe be Jesus male impregnation fan fictions, which, you know, more power to you. Or it could be, you know, just like actually barking. I get it. I've been there, bro. That's beautiful. All right, so we have all our pieces unwrapped, I think. We're going to average island scale, and then we're going to do a little pack. And we want the margin to at least be 0.005. At least. That gives us something like this. So chat is unfair. Yes. Chat is unfair. So this is our sofa. Okay. This is our sofa. We're going to do this. And what we're going to do is we're now going to export this. Let's export this right here. Selected objects. And we're going to call it Marshmallow Love Seat. Okay. Then from here, we're going to start to cook. And by cook, I mean we need to start doing substance painter. Textures. Coloring. Making it look and feel how we want it to feel. Now, there's a lot of texture going on here. It's kind of like glossy. It's kind of like satin-like, but it's also corded on the big pillows. Okay? So, let's open this up. We're in Substance 3D Painter. So, open this bad boy up. Not a die-trying mesh. Die-trying wishlist now on Steam. We are going to Marshmallow Love Seat, and we're importing this in. Okay? And here's our guy. Here's our little guy. We're going to press the croissant and we're going to bake it. Okay, we're going to bake him real quick. And this generates a bunch of like data, information, scale data, all kinds of stuff. And that's automatically added like some shading and other bits and pieces. Now, this is kind of irritating. So I think I actually want to move this. Not Katie. Hello, not Katie. How you doing? I think we want to move this up here for now. And we'll work on this stuff like that. So first things first, I have a default thing which I use for ambient occlusion, which is like shadows and shit like that. So we do like that. If you have a look, you see how it's like creating shadows and stuff? Ambient occlusion, cavities. So that's ambient occlusion. That's just cavities. Okay. Very nice. Very good. I'm good. Thank you very much, Katie. Welcome on in. So now let's start to figure stuff out. We want our main color here. Do we like this orange? I don't know if we like this orange. Let's do chord. Yo, Mooncat. Hello, Mooncat. We want to find... this is my assets. I want all libraries. If I put chord, what do we got? Sapphire. Yeah. Tightening. We don't like the orange. Hello, Mooncat. Thank you for stopping by. How are you today? What do we do? Fabric. What do we got under fabric? How do we achieve this chorded look? This is kind of fabric wall. Nope. That's not it in the slightest. This is nylon. What about this? Oh, fabric top stitching. No, that's not it. This? No. We might need to go look for something, you know. Maybe we need to go find a material online. Oh, denim. Oh, fucking hell. I can't wait to go sit on my job seat. You know what I mean? Although you say that, hang on. Actually, okay. So UV rotation actually plays a big issue here. So we want to maybe have these face the same way. So like we could, so if we start to play around with this a bit. I mean, it looks far too, it's not right. Fabric roughness all the way down. Yeah, it just kind of makes it like shiny. Yeah, that ain't the one. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look and see what's going on here. So we'll move this down here and we'll put like Substance Painter 3D chord. How do you spell it? Is it corduroy? Corduroy texture. Hello. Christina with a C. That fabric looks like corduroy, but also like velvet. That is true. Corduroy. A Substance 3D. Hang on, what have we got going on here? Suede. I don't know if it's suede. Now this is it. This is it. What's it compatible with? Created in designer, sampler, substance painter, download me. What the fuck's an S bar? Okay, whatever. Then we do an import over here. Add a resource. Go here. Oh, it's not finished yet. You finished? You finished. Download this. Fabric. We'll call this chord import. All right. And then here it is. Bro, what are we saying? What are we doing? Hang on. Let's try and salvage this. Color adjustment. Opacity mask. What the fuck is this? Maybe. Hang on. Maybe cooking. It's God. Hang on. Without the height data, it looks pretty good. I think the height is way too much. Need the normal. Okay, so what the fuck is going on here? Height? False. So if I turn that on. Fuck, it does do stuff. Okay, we just take that off. But you see something that we have going on here, boys, is that the chord on our reference goes like straight up and down, whereas our chord is kind of like, it's on the piss. It's going like diagonally. So, and I'm not talking about the place in Harry Potter, which is Diagon Alley. Don't get it twisted. So how do we fix that? We need to edit our UVs, which is these boys right here. We need to ensure that these are straight, okay? And how are we going to do that? How are we going to ensure that these are straight? We need to cut, I think we need to cut it into like little pieces. We need to cut it into little pieces. So maybe something like this. We take this and this. We need this whole front face as well. So we mark them as, mark a seam. Give me these. And if we unwrap those, okay, that's getting there. Now we just have like a bit of an issue going on here. Oh, well, that's not good. I should have cut these corners out like that. Now do that. Now you see everything is kind of like squared off. This should be fine. And then we just need to ensure everything's rotated correctly. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the whole lot back in, do a average island scale, another repack, wapam, gives us this. Are there any people in here on Discord who play Animal Crossings? I'm looking for some things. Oh, you're looking for items? Looking for items on Animal Crossing? Can you not just like skip the days ahead? Did that still work? Back when I was a kid, that used to be the method. Anyway, so we've re-imported our mesh with the new UVs, and look, you can see it's going up and down, but there may be some weird seamage going on, so we'll have to see how it looks. Okay, we'll have to see how it looks. Okay, so I actually think we have just fucking nailed that. So there would be a seam here where it's like sewn together, like here. So this goes back to front. Oh, this is actually going side to side. But I actually really like how that turned out. Let's get rid of the color. All right. And then underneath it, hang on, let's do this. We'll put this chord texture, and then we'll call this base color. Okay. Get rid of everything but the roughness for now. And let's do we not like do people like the orange? People like the orange. It's a really rich orange. I also need to go on here, get rid of the roughness, mayhaps. Now it looks shiny. We want the roughness. Water bottle. Have you seen from Crocodile called him the M? What are we talking about? Water bottle? What the fuck is stable Ronaldo? Is that that's a football player, right? Sims doesn't like good colors, but pastel would be great. I mean, we'll do multiple different ones. So if I turn down the roughness. Actually, hang on. We want it like this. So we want it like slightly shiny, slightly like satiny. So if I turn the roughness down, the metallic up. That's a bit much. That's also a bit much. So kind of fucking like that a bit. Now this needs to be darker. Different metals as well. Metal. We can do different metals. Why don't I just like do this? That's like horrible. I think I prefer the orange I was working with. Hang on. Something like this. Up the metallic a bit. It's just slightly too shiny, so we need to up the rough. I like that. I like something like this, okay? But we don't need the... Wait, are they corded here? Is it corded all the way over? I think it may be, you know? Yeah, this looks corded. Yeah, that is corded. It's corded everywhere. Okay. So another issue that we can see here is, look, this cord is going the correct way. It's going left to right, if you can see that texture. You see it's going left to right, whereas the one underneath it is getting uppies. It's getting uppies, all right? And we don't want it to get uppies. We want it to go laterally. So we need to rotate the backs. We need to rotate... Hang on. We need to rotate more UVs. So let's have a look at this. We want to... This face on the UV island needs to be rotated by 90 degrees. This one on the left of it, which is here, this also needs to be rotated by 90 degrees. And then the back is actually fine, but the top one needs to be rotated 90 degrees. So like that. And then the left top one needs to be rotated 90 degrees. Like this, we rotate, okay? And then we're going to do another pack, but we're going to disable rotate. So it keeps our islands in the same orientation and therefore hopefully keeps the corduroy going in the direction that we want it to. So we've rotated that. We're going to export like this. Yo, Sammy, what's going on, brother? Export it right here, okay? And then look, watch before your eyes, the chords start to go in the right direction. So the bottom one should go left to right, and the L pieces should come like back to front, right, well, on the top piece where the seam is. I'm doing good, thank you, Sammy. Having a chill Sunday evening. We're making some Sims 4 custom content, doing a little bit of modeling. We do need to fucking pick it up, though. I did it wrong, apparently. Oh, did it even do it? Did I re-import the mesh? I didn't re-import the mesh and then go again. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, now look. Now the cord is going all the correct way, apart from this side piece at the top. You motherfucker, you. Give me this. Rotate it by 90. Give me another pack. How's your weekend been, Sammy? Is the famalam all good? Are they all well? How is your rabbit? Is your rabbit sensational? Okay, let's pop that back here. Re-export that. Fucking re-import the mesh again. Rebake this motherfucker and go from there. Now, when it comes to managing the metallic and how shiny something is, it's kind of rough. It's kind of tough to do correctly, but we're going to give it our best. So there's a bit of shine to it, almost like velvety. I think we need less roughness, you know, and it needs to be more shiny. There we go. I will not be adding the pillow and the blanket. I will not. We're going to leave this kind of like as it is, I think. I don't really fuck with this. Fuck with the pillow and blanket. It looks messy. Had work today. Family is good. The Bono as well. Thanks for asking. Of course, Sammy. Of course, man. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of. This is gonna be the thing. So now we need to do the metal. Let's do the metal here, and it is obviously gonna be metallic. We need to put these in a folder. We'll call these pillows. Add a white mask and remove that. No, remove that. Okay. And then we want to add a black mask to this. So practically what we're trying to do is we're trying to select what we do and don't want to be different colors. So this bar, for example, I mean, this needs to be like mirrored practically. That needs to be kind of like this. What if I put the roughness in 0? That makes it really mirrored. Something along those lines. Maybe like slightly off like this. I don't really know. The color does impact this. A little bit. We'll have it like down here, maybe. No, it does need to be like mad reflective. Something like this, mayhaps. And then I still don't like how reflective this shit is. So he makes it more reflective. What a fill. We'll call that okay. Okay. We're gonna call that okay. This keeps getting in my way, which is fine because I asked it to. So let's go Sims 4 CC, Marshmallow Love Seat, and we'll call this Marshmallow Love Seat, and this is just saving the texture. Okay, so now we need to pull the texture and shit like out of this. All right. Is there anything else actually that we need to add to make it more Sims-like? Is there anything that will make it more simmy? I wonder if the chord texture is a little bit too small. You know what I mean? I wonder if this actually needs to be like that, or maybe it needs to be different sizes per piece. So the big pillows are like this, all right? And then we copy this. We'll call this like bases, and we get rid of that. And on this one, we actually make it much smaller, maybe. We move it from here. Oh shit! Hang on. Base color goes outside of this. Okay, and this we want that. We don't want these like that. Okay, so now you can say yeah. So in that yapping, what I meant to do is look, the chord texture on the pillows here is larger than the chord texture here, but I still think this is too small. So we're gonna make it slightly larger. But it's still smaller than the big pillows. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see that. Sort of. I think like once the light hits it in game, it might be better. Anyway, now we need to export some shit out of this. We're gonna put that over here. We're gonna export PBR metallic roughness. Okay. And we want the color, we need the roughness, and we need the normal. Okay. We don't need the metallic. So color, this is roughness and normal. And we're going to pop them in here. We're going to call a folder called textures. Go like that. Save, export. All right, neat. So now we need to sort those textures out because right now they're not really correct. So we're going to open up our good old pal Photoshop. To do that, we need to take our textures, which we put in here. We exported them from Substance Painter 3D, and we're going to pop them in here. And these are too damn big. So these are 2K textures right now. Okay, so they're 2048 pixels by 2048. Lame nerd shit, don't worry about it. But what we need to do is we need to make them smaller. Now, we could export them smaller in Substance Painter, but Photoshop is better at downscaling images, I find. So we do Control-Alt-I to bring up the image sizer, and you see it says 2048. We're going to do 1024. Simply half it like this. Click OK, and it will just go. There we go. Now this is exactly the same image, just half the size. So we're going to export this as a PNG, and it won't go there. It will go Sims 4 CC Marshmallow C, and we're going to save this as base color. Doesn't matter what you name it. Doesn't matter at all. I just name it base color because that's what we do in game dev. Okay, next. Now this is where things get a little bit complicated. This is our normal map, and you may look at this and be like, Joe, what in the frick am I looking at? Well, imagine this kind of like lighting data, maybe. I'm not sure the proper technical way to explain it, but pretty much the normals will simulate lighting detail without there actually being geometry there. Okay, so you know on our corduroy texture, it's like bumpy, isn't it? But really, there's no bumps on the mesh. Look, it's smooth, it's flat. There's no bumps there. So when you add normals onto a soft mesh, it makes it appear like there's bumps in it. Like on like some games, you have like a base wall, but it looks like it's made of bricks, and it looks like each brick has got like depth to it. But really, it's just flat. It's just a flat face. That's what normals does. It gives you that illusion of depth. Okay, so it's quite important for something like this. So things get a little bit weird here. So how do you deal with the normals? First off, we're going to scale it down. So I'm going to do Control-Alt-I, hit 1024 like that, and it will go zoop. There we go. All right, now this took me a while to remember, but for Sims 4 meshes, you need to export not as a PNG, but in a file format called DDS, and you need a plugin to get it. There's a Intel Photoshop plugin, which allows you to save as DDS. But before you do that, you actually need to turn this image, which doesn't currently have an alpha channel, which is like opacity, doesn't have an opacity channel. We need to turn it into one. And how we do that is kind of simple, but also kind of shit. So down here in the channel section, which you can get via window channels, that you can show it, you press the plus button, and it gives you this alpha layer. So here's what you do. You select the red channel, press Control-A to select everything, Control-C to copy everything, you pop that in alpha. So red goes into alpha. Then you go to the green channel, Control-A to select everything, Control-C to copy everything, Control-V to put it in the green channel and the blue channel. So what you're essentially left with is your red, green, and blue are the same, but your alpha channel is what your red originally was, okay? And then that gives you something that kind of looks like this. We do File, Save As, and then in here, I've got Intel TextureWorks DDS. And this is normals. We save that as normals. You get this little pop-up box. These are all default. I've never changed these, and we just click OK. Then finally, this is the one which I kind of struggle with, but we're going to give it our best shot. That is the specular map. What the Sims calls a specular map, okay? And what specular map is imagine it like a paint by numbers. So it's like a painting, and different colors will dictate what's shiny, what's reflective, and what's metallic. So here is our roughness out of Substance Painter. First thing, Control-Alt-I, downscale it to 1024 by 1024. There's our little guy. Next, okay, we need to invert it, which I believe is Control-Shift-I, Control-I, and it inverts it. Okay, it inverts all the colors. Then we go Image, Mode, RGB, because like our normal, we're going to save this as a DDS. Okay, we need to add an alpha channel like this. And I believe our I forget which one goes in. These different channels represent different things. The way I think it is like this. The red channel dictates how rough something is. So like wood is rough by default, like in real life, if there's no varnish on it. If you were to add a varnish so it's reflective, it's no longer rough. It's slightly less rough. And what we want to do here is dictate kind of how metallic, rough, and reflective certain parts are. So I think we want to take our roughness, do Control L to bring up the levels, and I think we want to move this. I think white is shiny. So white is very rough, like 100%, 0% roughness, and black is not. So I think we want it maybe about here. And we're gonna have to go in and test this. Green is metallic. Now it's not super metallic. We don't want super metallic. So we're gonna put that about here. And then the blue, we don't want a lot of reflectiveness in it. So we're gonna do something maybe like that. And the alpha is how intense we want the specular to apply. So right now it's all black, and we can change how much we want that to kind of apply. We're going to put it like this for now, okay? And just see how we get on. And this is what we're left with. So we're going to do a save as DDS here, and we're going to call this one specular. This is the one part which I still have yet to properly figure out, but this is my best guess. So we're all learning today, okay? We're all learning at the same time. Let me move this somewhere so you can actually see it a bit better. Maybe like down here. Anyway, so we've got our base color. We've got our specular. We've got our normals. Now we need to do just a little bit of extra prep for the mesh, okay? Two things. Number one, we need to apply what's called a edge split modifier to this. So what we do is we do edge split, and we take off angle, and we do sharp edges. And this just separates vertices where there is a particular angle. And why we do that is because of the way lighting works in The Sims 4. If you have too round of a surface, it's going to look weird. Like the lighting isn't going to work nicely with it. And the way I do this is different to how like most people online kind of say you should. Even like all the online forums are like, hey, you shouldn't shade smooth, which is what I'm doing here to make everything smooth. And you don't need to use sharps, which is like, for example, you see how this is like real smooth here. If I select this and add a sharp, you see how it's giving me like this really hard crease here. Obviously, we don't want that. I prefer to use beveling and controlling the sharp my own way. Is this stream recorded? I missed the previous parts. G-Night, this stream, actually the whole lot, I'm going to probably chop this up and put it on my YouTube, which you can have a look at. There is plenty on there. G-Night, thanks for being here, by the way. How you doing today? You can kind of see what we're going for today. We're trying to make this little guy right here, what we're calling a marshmallow sofa. Okay, so that's our mesh prepped. And there's one more thing we need to do. We're going to copy the mesh, head back to Sims 4 Studio, look at the shadow, and export this. Okay, we need to make a shadow mesh. And you may be asking, Joe, what does a shadow mesh do for CC? Once we export it, we get a shadow mesh.blend, and we're going to open that up. A shadow mesh practically gives the silhouette of every item its own shadow. And if they are not aligned, for example, a shadow is a big box, but the item is really small, you'll see like this black kind of line, like this ethereal kind of thing around your item, and it just doesn't look right. So what I did is, this is the shadow mesh for the original sofa that we're basing off, but we're not worried about that. We're going to take our mesh right here, copy that, and paste it into here. We're going to get rid of their mesh and make sure the cut number is correct, which I believe it should be 0. So our shadow mesh is now this. Okay, we can save that, no problem. Now we have our mesh prepped, our base color, our normal, our specular, and our shadow. I may have said that twice, not entirely sure. But everything is prepped, and now we can start doing our first testing. So here's what we got to do. Sims 4 Studio, LOD 0 under the meshes tab. We're going to import a mesh. We're going to import from blend file, okay? It wants you to select a blend file. So we click open on here and magically we'll see our mesh appear, but with the old textures. Just kidding. I didn't set the cut number. So the old mesh is over here. If we look at this scene, it says cut 1. Should be cut 1, but we don't want this to be the mesh we're worrying about. So cut 5 means like, hey, I don't want to worry about this. This one wants to be cut 1 because this is what we're worried about. So we save that, import mesh, and then we do blend file, our proper one. There you go. So our mesh is in, but you can see it's currently using the old textures. It's using the textures from the sofa we based it off. So we're going to go, actually quickly, before we do that, before we change textures, we're going to go shadow LOD 0. LOD standing for level of detail. Modern meshes have multiple versions of the same mesh at different levels of detail, i.e. there's more polygons, there's more shapes that make it up, okay? And in this particular instance, there are 3 LODs, okay? 0 being the highest quality, going down to 2, which is the lowest quality. And those LODs get used at different settings levels, for example, graphics qualities, or the distance at which your camera is from that item. So, for example, if you're zoomed out really far on a Sims 4 lot, to make it more performant, to make the game perform better, it will swap out that mesh in real time to a lower quality version. But because you're so far away, you can't see the difference between the high and the low level of detail. So it's kind of clever. But anyway, we want to import our shadow mesh here like this. And hopefully, there you go. That's the silhouette. That's our shadow of our new item. Right, back to LOD 0, the mesh. Okay, we're going to go to the texture section, and here's where we import our base color, i.e. our diffuse, our normal, and our specular. So diffuse, we go import marshmallow love seat textures, and we want to set this to PNG, and then we've got our base color right here, which we downsized. Right. So this looks kind of mid right now, right? It's not, where's all like the texture, the normals and all that kind of stuff? That's fine. That will come in a bit. Normal, import. We have got our DDS normals that we got out of Photoshop. It won't show here, and that's okay. Then we have our specular, which is the thing I'm not very confident in, but we're giving it a go. Everyone's learning together at the same time here. Spec.dds, open that, and then we can see we've got something here. We're going to change the swatch thumbnail from these grays to something that's like orange. We're going to get rid of that, and then we're going to add like a second orange in here as well. Just kind of maybe around like this kind of vibe. So just like a double orange kind of situation. We're going to save this, and that gives us a package file. Okay, now hopefully if you mod The Sims or you use CC before, you'll know where this comes from, or you'll feel comfortable. So we've got our Marshmallow Love Seat package right here. Actually, real quick, we're going to go over to the catalog. So we've got Marshmallow Love Seat, and we're going to put in here made by Just Joe. Just underscore Joe underscore. We'll put in the YouTube, which is at Just Joe Show, I believe, like that. We got the TikTok, which is also Just Joe Show. And then we'll put the Twitch in, of course. You put the Twitch in here, which is just underscore Joe underscore. Not like that, like that. And then that needs to be like that. We'll set the price to like 300. Fuck it, 500. We're 550. We're bougie out here. Suburban Contempto, we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of the basic style. And we will just save that. Okay, so now what we do is we take our package file like this, open a new tab here. We're going to go Documents, Electronic Arts, Sims 4, Mods, pop it in here. Marshmallow Love Seat. I can also show you this by my other pack, which I made, which I think is like 6 or 7 brand new meshes based off original Sims 4 2014 meshes, which I've reimagined. But anyway, that's that. So now we're going to go have a look. And I expect it to look a little weird, I think. We'll have to wait and see. But I think it's a decent start. I think the specular map will need to be amended a fair bit, but we'll see. We're hoping for chord textures. We're hoping for a metallic silver section here, slightly shiny texture for the chord. But we'll have to see how we get on. Have to see how we get on right there. Okay. Also, you'll see like my little testing environment. So it's a house, but it's not really it's not a home. Let's say that much. Okay. I need to turn the music off in game as well. It kind of gets on my nerves. I don't know about you, but after shutting down and opening and all that kind of stuff, like loads and loads of times, I'm like, holy shit. Like, shut up. I made it. See, this is what I made. I made a thing very similar to this and very similar to this. All right. So it's installed. First off, we're going to go game options, audio, music, get it off. All right. Resume the game. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look and see what we got going on. I think it will be okay. I don't know, man. So build by mode. Excuse me. Here's all the shit that I made before. So all these pieces here are CC apart from the rug. And let's just kind of like shift this all kind of over for now, I guess. Just shift it all over. That's fine. I don't know why I'm sounding like Shakira. Something like this. And I guess we could. Oh, it's not a desk chair, this, so it won't actually fit. But we'll put it. There you go. You can be a cuck chair. Right. So we're gonna put in Marshmallow Love Seat. Here we go. And where is it? And here it is. I'll tell you what, boys and girls. It ain't half bad. It does kind of stick out, and it does need a little bit more love. Okay. Let's put it next to a real sofa, and we'll have a look. Okay. So there's like mine looks very flat. Looks very flat right now. Whereas you see, like theirs is like shiny to a degree. So I think I know how I can fix that relatively easily. I think the orange color, it's okay. The bars need to be darker, I think. And yeah, things just look a little like noisy. You know what I mean? Look how noisy this thing. It's all like, and I don't particularly like it. So we'll go back and work on that. So we're going to do exit and save, and we'll just get back to it. So here we go. So this is just, maybe I need to add a filter, and let's add a blur to it. So it kind of gets rid of that noisiness just like a little bit. So it's kind of like that. Or does that look kind of shit? I think if you use the same textures on the back and the arms as you did on the base, it might look less noisy. Yeah, maybe because it's like too big. So we can take this and then kind of start to do something like that. I think the orange needs to come up a bit. I think it needs to be kind of like that. Also, what else did I say? The metal needs to be darker. So we're going to bring that down a bit. And we're also going to export this as, we're actually going to do 2D view, which is just the base color here. And with this, we're going to bring this in, which is actually this. So this is the base color. Now, instead of this, we've now got this. So instead of this detaining the color, we've got this. So we're gonna use this and see how we get on here. We're gonna downscale it 1024 by 1024, and we will export this as a PNG. Overwrite our base color. Whapam. All right, and we'll just see how it looks. It may look dog shit. Okay, replace the diffuse texture with our brand new base color right here. See, now look at that. Look, maybe we're starting to cook a bit here. So we save it. That's updated the package file. Okay, so we'll go over here. Look at this. So package file 2110. We're going to copy that, go to our mods folder, replace, and then we will reopen it. We'll reopen it and have a look. Have a look again. Just a simple little change, and that may be all we need. That may be all we need, ladies and gentlemen. And once we're done with this, there's still more work to do. We have to go through the LODs. So we have to make simpler versions of this same mesh for people who use lower end computers and to optimize based on camera distance to the item. And we also need to do that for the shadow meshes as well. So a little bit more work to do. And then actually, finally, to finish all this up, we need to check the slots. Okay, so we need to check the positions of where Sims will be sitting. You can dictate where the feet will be, where the ass will be, where the toddler's feet will be, where the newborn's feet will be, where the newborn's butt will be, where the toddler's butt will be. There's a lot of stuff that you need to kind of control, and we can get to all that kind of at the end. But the idea by the end of today's show, which we're kind of getting there, we've got about another hour and a bit left, is to have a brand new piece uploaded to Patreon, maybe with a couple of different colors and a couple of different swatches, and we'll put it up there. That's kind of the idea. So let's go build mode, turn this off, and it should have automatically updated this. And would we look at this? So exclamation point CC. So this is what we're looking like now. I would still say, I mean, I've immediately seen an issue. Where look at the direction of the chords on the left side and the right side. So specifically, I'm going to do a bit of, not to be, what's that guy's name? Pirate Software. You see how these ones are going in this direction? All right. You see these lines are going in this direction. They're kind of flowing like here, going down here. These ones are going the opposite way and flowing that way. Okay. And I actually think I prefer this one and not this one. You don't see. Wait, why do you don't see? Oh, game capture. I do this. Here you go. Sorry. Thank you very much, Itchy. So yeah, I think I prefer the chords coming this way than going across. So instead of doing this and then having the front face being weird, I think we have it follow the front face and then it kind of like does this instead, which I think is better. YouTube chat is super delayed. Is it? Is it? I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, so we've got something to fix there. I also think it still looks a little noisy, I would say. I think it looks a little bit noisy. I think there's too much depth to it. Slightly too much depth. So we need to take that off a bit. So exit and save. It's all good. We just go back to the old watering hole. So these being the wrong direction, this is a UV issue. So what did we say we liked? We liked the one on the right side. So we got to let's look at this by seam, and we want that to be, well, maybe we need to just rotate that one 90 degrees. Hang on, why is it? Is this by island? No. Face select mode. Here we go. Rotate this by 90 degrees, and then we will rotate this one, and this one, I think, by 90 degrees. And we'll do another repack right here. We'll pack the islands. Hit me with something like that. Let's take this and re-export, and we'll go back into Substance Painter. Hit me like that, and then rebake. I'm sorry, the YouTube chat is really delayed though. Like, any estimation on how much by? And that looks pretty good. I'd say this one needs to rotate to go lengthways. So yeah, the two outer bits need to rotate. That's the shadow mesh. We want this one. So this and this. 30 to 45 seconds. Is it really? I'm so sorry. I would not know what's causing that. Yo, thank you very much for the sub on YouTube. Thank you very much. Space Jam. Hello, Space Jam. Just saw your CC pack and I loved it. Dude, that's so sick to hear. Thank you so much for seeing what we're about. It's my first proper go, and we're actually making something again today. We're doing the whole thing. Back of the pillows are also sideways. No, do we want them to be sideways? I think we want them to be sideways. We want these to be sideways instead of up and down. See, right now they're going up and down. I think they got to go sideways. Also, top right. So this guy also got to be rotated like that. Pack the islands. Let's have a look. I think that was me, Sods, on YouTube. You did it about a minute ago. Oh, well, Lauren. Lauren is your real name. Are you Lauren? Okay. So we got that. We rotated the UVs a bit more. We're going to go like this. Re-export. It's okay. Look, I'm keeping all of these in here. I'm keeping the whole process in for the YouTube video. I'm doing the whole lot. You guys need to know that, like, listen, I'm not just a fountain of knowledge that is perfect every single time. It is a process regardless of if you've made your own pack, if you're doing your first thing, or I'm sure if you've done 100 different meshes. You know what I mean? I'm sure you still make mistakes and every day is a school day. Right. Let's have a look at this then. So sideways. This is up and down. That's up and down. That's up and down. So rotate the outside ones. Why? Again, hang on. Am I losing the plot here? This one and this one, they need to be sideways. So they're done. That's sideways, outside and outside again. Outside and outside again. Not just a handsome chap, also good at making art too. I'm okay. I'm all right. I can just about be employable. Just about. You know what I mean? But we try our best, you know, so all we can do is try our best. Right, re-export this again. If this doesn't work this time, so everything on the side apart from the front should be sideways. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's move this up here. Why are these not rotating? I'm rotating the UVs. I wonder why that's not doing it. Is it the same UV? Is it the same UV? What in the fuck is happening here? Is it the same UV? I think it is. Sideways, sideways, sideways. I mean, that's done it. So these outside ones, it's just these outside ones now. Okay, that's fine. So this one and this one need to be rotated 90 degrees. And then pack the islands, no rotation. Okay, now I think it's going to do it. I think it was rotating the islands when I didn't want them to. I think it was just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. So we're going to go, wham, we're going to do this. You better be up and down. No, you better be side to side. Success. Oh, yeah. That's what that is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I think what we've established is that we are close. We are very close. This needs to come up a bit. Probably more like that. Okay. The chord texture, if I bring down the opacity, does that change anything? I don't think so. Okay, so we need to do the color adjustment is fine. Base color mask, technical parameters, opacity intensity. Where is the normal intensity? Yes. Now we can really start to dial that in. It's kind of shiny. It is kind of shiny, but if you look at the look at our reference up here, it is kind of shiny, but it also doesn't appear that shiny in game. It doesn't appear that shiny in game. What's I doing? It's normal intensity. Yeah, so we can like dial these back a bit and make it not so noisy, I think. So we'll do, what's it? 0.07. We'll do the same here. Technical parameters minus 0.07. Is that what I said? Or minus 0.7? So it's a little bit more like that. Oh, the reference. Yeah. It's kind of shiny. It's got shine to it here, but it isn't quite right. Something, it does just feel flat, but because I wonder actually if I need to do, hang on, boys. Let me try and cook something here. So Sims meshes sometimes have a bit of like an edge to them. And I ain't talking about jorking it. I'm talking about edge highlights, okay? And if I apply a smart mask to this white here, you see how it kind of highlights bits like this? Get rid of this sharpen, and we're going to blur this a bit, bring up the balance and the contrast, a little bit like this. And then we're going to make this real, we'll do value, all right? We're going to bring this down a fair amount. And you see how that kind of just like brings up the edges? I don't know if I want it on value, actually. If I put it on white, actually, multiply does that. No, what's the opposite of multiply? Is it lighten? Do something a bit like that, maybe even a bit less. So global balance, I bring it down, but I want it to be everywhere, bro. Global contrast, balance, just like a little something, just like so subtle, you know what I'm saying? So it's something like this. So we're going to we've got to do the whole thing pretty much again, the whole texture thing, apart from the specular. Okay, so we're going to export the base color again, and we also need to come over here, do PBR metallic roughness, and we don't care about the color. We want the roughness and Zinomel, something like that. Okay, so we're actually going to shut most of these down. I don't want to save this, don't want to save that, don't care about that, don't care about that. All right, so we're going to run this all back. So this doesn't matter right now. That's new and that's new. Specular is fine, and our base color. So we're going to get rid of the base color as well. First off, base color. Sim, we're going again real quick. We're going to resize it to 1024 by 1024. That's literally all that we have to do there. Quick export this as a PNG. Call it base color. Name doesn't matter, just what works for me. Next up, okay? We think the normal definitely needs to be changed. I think the specular is fine. So the normal, pull this in. We've got this blue tomfoolery going on, okay? Here's how you deal with this. You make a new channel, okay? Alpha, aka opacity. You take the red, Control A, select all, Control C. Alpha, you put it in alpha. So red and alpha are now the same. Then you take your green, put it into the red channel and the blue channel. You want to save this as a DDS. Save over our normal. You have to get an Intel plugin for Photoshop to export DDS. And then once we've done that, we can come back over here. We will import our new base color, import our mesh again, because we need to do that because our UV has changed. There we go. There we go. That's looking simish. That's looking simmy right there. Okay, our shadow is exactly the same. Our normal, going to re-import texture DDS, normal, and our specular. Oh no, we will need to do our specular because our UV changed. Okay, so did I export? I think I did export it. Yes, we need to do this. So we'll take this into Photoshop. We're going to go like this. This is the one which I'm not very comfortable with, but we're going to give it our best shot. First off, resize 1024, 1024. Sensational. Then Control I, invert that motherfucker. All right. Then image mode, RGB color, toxic, getting a pack, sensational work. Now we have all these down here. Okay, we make an alpha layer. The red is the roughness, the green is the metallic, and the blue is the reflectiveness. I don't think we want things to be too reflective, so we're going to do Control L, pull up the levels, and we're going to bring all this down quite a bit, like that. Okay. Now, we're going to do something like this. Oops. That. I'm hoping that will be okay. I'm hoping this will make the metal nice and reflective. And then this is the roughness. And I think we want something like this. Then the alpha is how impactful all of these values are. And we want it kind of. So we're going to bring this up to like a mid-gray. Something like that. It may suck. It may not. I'm not entirely sure. Save this as a DDS specular. We're going to rename, we're going to go over our spec right there. All right. So we've got a new normal in, I believe. I'm just going to double check. Okay. And then we're going to put our specular in. That's our new one. We're going to save it. Okay. Package has been saved. Right back to it. Find the package file, which is right here. Copy that. Put it in your mods folder in the Sims 4 documents or documents electronic art Sims 4 mods. Put it over the top. Open the Sims. See if it sucks or not. See if it sucks or not. That's what we do. Is everyone keeping up? Be honest with me. Is anyone got any questions? I'll be happy to answer while we're waiting for the Sims to boot up. But I will answer you in the top-down view. I will answer you while you're looking down upon me like you're 7'6". Okay. Listen, I'm 5'10" on a good day, but I am sat. Okay. Jacob Cake says, no, I have no idea what's happening. Jacob, we are making custom content for the Sims 4. We're making our own meshes. We're being good. I just came back and the first thing I see is this. Uppy's cam is good cam. Oh, so 0F. Oh, mesh. Never mind. I don't. Well, hang on. What's 0F? I don't know what you're talking about. Right. Let's reopen the game and we'll see where we're at. See if it looks any better. It may be like mad shiny this time though, and the metal look might look strange. But we'll have to see. It's all down to that specular. Only friends? Oh no. All right, and here she is, dude. Oh, this is like sufficiently shiny. What do we? Dude, I've got it next to a real sofa in The Sims. Tell me that's not like. Would you think they're from one of the same packs, or what are we saying? Not the same pack, but do you think it looks okay? I wonder if it needs to be even more orange. Though, just in case. You think it looks good? It does look good. I mean, you can definitely, so you can see the corduroy on it, which I like. I like the corded nature of it. I wonder if it needs to be shinier somehow. I'm going to fuck around with the specular. A little bit. I want it to be shinier. Ash Gemini says it's a chunky boy. It is a chunky boy. But if you look at our reference, it is a chunky boy. It's quite a chunky boy right there. I fuck with it, but also looks like Play-Doh. Fuck. You are kind of right. It does kind of look like Play-Doh, doesn't it? Fuck. Okay. Let's bring this back over here. I think it's because it's like too rough. It doesn't have enough of the shine to it. Okay, this is fine though, because we continue to move, we continue to cook, we go back. This is all specular stuff, I think. So we'll go back into here. This is our specular. What if we were to don't invert this. What if we were to just make it like mad white, like that? How do we feel about that? Save that as a motherfucking DDS. So now it's even more red. Okay. Back in Sims 4 Studio, import this specular. So it's even brighter. I mean, look, that's like 100% there right now. All right. And we then get the updated package file, which is this. Put it in the mods folder. All right. And we go again. You can make the gap between the two cushions in the middle a tad bit smaller. When did you start making CC? I've only been watching for a month now, loving the work. Literally maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I'm a 3D artist for like my real job. I work in indie games, and my girlfriend, she likes The Sims, and one time she was talking to me about like what she doesn't like about some of the new packs and stuff which are coming out for The Sims, like the inconsistencies in swatches and textures, and it's like, well, why have you give me this? Why don't I have this as well? And I was like, in the back of my mind, I was thinking like, it can't be that hard to make shit for it. So I've been doing research over the past like few weeks or so. I've been documenting kind of my journey on YouTube as well, trying to educate some others, because I think people can apply themselves to make content better than what EA is giving you, and it would be for free. All you would need to do is put the time investment in. So yeah, you can see everything I've pretty much ever made, either here on Twitch VODs or on YouTube, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it hasn't really taken me that long, I'm gonna be honest with you. But you have to remember, I do have modeling experience already, and I do have texturing experience already. What I don't have a lot of experience in is making things look like they're in The Sims, because I don't play The Sims, really. I'm not good at figuring out what feels right for the game. And I think that's actually where, well, that's why I asked for so much feedback. It's like, hey, does this look like it belongs in The Sims? Because to my knowledge, there's like Maxis-match, and then there's like Alpha CC, right? So Maxis-match is true to the form and the styling of The Sims. Then you have Alpha CC, which is like increased realism, like high resolution textures, and like slightly further afield from the original designs. And I want to be like Maxis-match. I want to like get good at making custom Maxis-match content, and I would like people to hopefully from that come by, see what we're about, not just the CC stuff, and then like be a part of the show altogether. We don't just do CC. There's so much going on. This match is the best. I mean, I try my best to make it. I try my best. It's because I don't play. It's really difficult for me to tell. Right, so we changed the specular map, and we're going to see what this looks like. Honestly, it looks no different. I would say that looks no different. So maybe I'm doing the specular map wrong. That's fine. So we exit, save and exit, and run it back. So let's look at our specular map here. Maybe we do want more reflective. So we want to bring stuff up like that. And then which one's this one? This one's metallic. We're just going to like crank these. You know what I mean? Just crank it a bit and see how we get on the green channel. Here we go. Will you be adding pillow and throw to the throw blanket? I wasn't going to, but you are the second person to ask. So I'm not sure. If you guys want it, I always can. I'll tell you what, something I was playing with. I'll actually show you. Next time we go in, I'm not sure if it's in The Sims, but someone in chat had like this idea, which they like conceptualized, which is like, hey, it would be really cool if we could have pieces of furniture where if you have move objects on, it can be two different things at once. And I thought, hey, I think I can do that. And I'm going to show you what I came up with. It's pretty cool, and I need you guys to like be honest with me and let me know if it's gas or if it's ass. Anyway, let's re-import this new specular. So stuff is definitely looking different here. Package has been saved. Let's reopen The Sims and have a look. I'm telling you, I'm keeping all this in the VOD, by the way. I'm going to be cutting this VOD down to a fairly long YouTube video because, well, it'll be like the whole process. I want people to see the whole process, the failings, the shortcomings, the learning process, you know. Like, I'm not perfect at it. I've been doing it a few weeks, but there is a great big hole in the custom content tutorialization scene. Like, who is it? There's like this French lady who was doing it back in like 2021, 2020. But like she doesn't really do tutorials anymore. The forums are great. There are forums, but trying to get a response takes like a couple of business days. And I'm like, kind of sucks. So I want to make stuff which kind of like allows people to do it. I mean, I was talking to Georgia about this. I understand why people gatekeep it, and she helped educate me on that, which I was really grateful for. Like, because some people obviously make a living and stuff off it. But at the same time, it's like, there's only so much that giving people the tools to do the work will give them. Because you can't like bypass the creativity. Yeah, I think my specular shit is not working. I don't think my specular shit is working at all. I mean, it kind of is, but I expect things to be shinier. Where it just like straight up isn't. Could be a texture issue opposed to a lighting issue. Yeah, it's definitely a texture. Well, it could be a texture issue. I'm not sure. We'll give this one more go. We'll have a look. I'm still very pleased with this, by the way. I'm still very pleased at how this turned out. I forgot to show you the fucking thing. Fuck. That's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll show you next time. I'll show you next time we get in. So if it's not the specular, let's have a little look here. Taking out my ass as someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. You got your drops. You're back home on the purple app. Let's go, man. Let's go. What drops were you getting? Were you getting oh, was it Tarkov day today, Itchy? That's your jam, right? It's very flat. Yeah, I wonder if the specular. That's a soap you could do some work on. That's Ghost of Tabor and Tarkov. Yo, very nice. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing it. Maybe it doesn't need the alpha. Hang on. Delete the channel. Hang on. Maybe it doesn't need the alpha and I'm getting things mixed up. Let me do this. Let me export. Let me save this as specular. Hang on. I may be being an absolute fool here. Import. I mean, it looks practically the same, man. It's practically the same. We'll give it one more go. If not, we'll call it okay, and then we got to start finishing stuff up. So we got to be doing the LODs, shadow meshes, stuff like that. There we go. Yo, Unfit, what's going on, dude? And Skinny G, this sofa in real life, you can like take it apart and you can like lay it all out on the floor and stuff. It's cool. So yes, I can imagine you could do mad work. You could be absolutely obliterating buns on this, to be fair. Definitely make pillow and throw thingy. Oh fuck. Look at this texture on here. How the fuck am I supposed to make that? Oh, I probably could. Maybe. I could make a pillow. Could make a corded, like big corded pillows for it. But you also need to be careful because of where the Sims kind of go in. Hello, did my Sims just like stop trying to launch then? Or am I losing the plot? Also, Ash, I appreciate you being here for so long, man. That's very, very kind of you. It's very, very kind of you. I understand YouTube chat is really delayed right now, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. I don't know why. I do not know why. I can try and find out though, actually. Excuse me. Content. Let's have a look here. Live. Is there like a view control room? Is there like a latency mode? Stream health. Oh, that's cool. There's always been one person here. That's very nice. Normal latency. It's just on normal latency instead of ultra low. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Something is not quite right there. I think that's why. There is latency options, but they're all grayed out for me right now. I'm sorry. Right. Let's resume this and just see if that made a difference. If not having the alpha in helped at all. Let's have a look at it. I'm fit with the free piece. Why not? Why not you and why not now, dude? All right. Have I fucked it or is it okay? Yeah, it looks fine. Don't forget to show you the thing. Thank you, G-Knight. I will show you the thing. Yeah, so I guess this is what we're kind of landing on right here. Oh, actually, look, it is shiny now. Look, you can see the light going between the cords. It is shiny. It's slightly shiny, like in the reference. Look. You can see where the light is. Look, it's following it. There we go. Maybe it didn't need the alpha layer. Yeah, I don't think it needed the alpha layer. I think I was smoking that Zaza. So we're going to make a new base color real quick. Now, Sexway, thank you for the follow, dude. We're going to do pink. So all I've done here is I've just renamed my material. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And we're going to find a pink that we like. That is not it. It needs to be kind of muted. I reckon it needs to be somewhere like that. And then we will do like something along those lines, maybe. Because I know in game it looks darker than it actually is. Maybe even like something along here. Here we go. More in the pink zone. There we go. All right, we do this. So export the 2D view into textures like that. And then we'll do the green real quick. We will set this back to something like here and find the green, which I want it to be somewhere like this. I actually wonder if the gold would be better on the green. Yeah, I kind of fuck with that. It's wicked inspired. Absolutely. Right, so we do that and we export the green texture. Wapam, we save that. Let's go back into Sims 4 Studio. We're going to go texture, okay? Keep the hell up. You need a creamy, like, sandy one? Fuck! There's so many we need to do. Okay, we do cream. Fucking, I can't, but the shit I do for you guys. What are we doing? Cream, more orange. Kind of like that. And then I think these have got to be like that. Yeah, there we go. Right, export this one. Okay, so we're going to have 4 different swatches here. All right, lock in, boys and girls. Lock the fuck in. Okay, texture. So, how do I do this again? That's our orange one. Add swatch. Here we go. So, swatch number 2. All we need to do is change the diffuse to... so, we'll do this. So, we'll have a pink one, and we'll change colors. So, it's going to be pink with, like, a gold. Like that. Add a swatch. Number 3, it will be green with gold. But we need to change the diffuse right here. So that's kind of like that. And then we add another swatch. And this will be the cream boy with this kind of color. Change the diffuse base color to this one. Wapam. There we go. All right. 4 colors. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting right now. That's all you're getting today. Okay. Catalog. So apply to all swatches. Apply styles to all swatches. Yes. Yeah. Apply this to all swatches. Cool. All right. So now we need to do the rig. We need to do the rig. So we actually put the seating position pretty well already. So there's a lot of different bits here. I think everything's actually aligned because we aligned it all already. So this is the foot position for like toddlers. What is this? Universal transition slot. It may be okay, you know. Oh, actually, no, I don't think so. I think we need to move the feet position, need to come forward. Could you see how they're like here? They need to come forward. So we move them like this. We change these. So 0.6 is forward. That's maybe a bit much. 0.55. Yep, we'll do that. So we'll do 0.55. Move this. 0.55. 0.55. So that moves them forward. Let's move the butt forward a little bit by 5 as well. So let's do 0.11. This one, 0.11. Yeah, this is a 2-seater. This is a 2-seater with plenty of room in between. Plenty of room in between. But it may be okay. Excuse my English. Your English has been perfect. I have not assumed that you are not English. I've never assumed that. You're doing a great job. So I think that's all good. Then what we got here? Child butt position. We'll move this forward a bit by maybe change this to 0.1. Child butt position here. 0.1. Toddler. We'll put this to 0.1 as well. And change this one to 0.1. Boys and girls, if you are curious... Oh, this needs to be minus 0.1 even. Just kidding. Hang on, 0. 0 me out. That's here. If we do 0.1, does that go forward or backwards? It goes backwards. So it needs to be minus 0.01, minus 0.02. Maybe it's like that. Minus 0.02. Put that in there. Put that there. Yeah, that's fine. Boys and girls, if you're curious about any other CC that I've made, exclamation point CC for custom content will take you straight to my Patreon where I put my first little post up, first little pack, 6 items, all based off old 2014 Sims 4 meshes, redesigned, reimagined, remade by yours truly. Josh Joe's reimagined pack. But right, yes, we have got our slots. We have got all this stuff. I think... Oh, no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet, boys and girls. We're not done. Lock in. Okay, so back to meshes. We have to do LODs, okay? So we need to make a... We need to make a lower poly version of it. So we can get rid of this now. So we're going to duplicate this, put this out here. This is the high poly version, all right? We've got this one. It needs to be lower poly. So this one can be cut 5 now. How do we make it lower poly? We go through and we just start removing some loops. So what we do, we start removing some of these this geometry, like so. So we make it not as complex while still trying to maintain the silhouette. So it does change it a little bit, but not a lot. Single exclamation point. Single exclamation point right there. So we're going to remove a few bits from around here. So that kind of does that. We can remove this like so. So it's not like looking round anymore, but that's okay. So we'll get rid of this center one like that. We can probably get rid of this. Is that Tinker Art? Thank you ever so much for the follow. How you doing? Welcome on in. And I tell you what, we'll call that one our like medium poly version. So cut 1. I'm going to get into 3D modeling, but I don't know where to start. Any beginner software? Yes, so C-Crown on TikTok. This is Blender. It is absolutely free. It's the best. It's industry standard, I would say. So I work in video games. I make art for video games in this software, and it is absolutely free. I do it. I promise you. This is what I use. So I'll call this one the low-ish. So this is LOD 1. So what we do is we go into here, import a mesh, import blend file, and I'm going to show you what I mean by LOD. Okay, there's going to be numbers, okay, which will help kind of define this. Come on, show me the money. There you go. There's our boy. Okay, so look at these numbers here. Vertices 1362, polygons 2034. If we go LOD 1, polygons 3106. Okay, so this is the high poly. Then we've lost 1,000 polygons here, and now we need to do one more. Okay. But we also need to do the shadow mesh at the same time. So we're going to copy this, go to our shadow mesh file, pop it in, get rid of that one, and re-import. So we go shadow mesh LOD, import a mesh, import a shadow. And this one should be exactly the same verts once it does it. Import mesh, shadow. Hello? that did it. This one not fancy it? Should be cut 1 or cut 0. It may be cut 0 actually. So if I do this for the medium shadow, it might be cut. Is it cut 0? It's cut 0. There we go. That's fine. Okay, now we've got one more to do. We need to do the low poly. All right, so this is where things get a little bit scuffed. So it's going to start to lose its form a little bit. And we really need to be cutthroat with removing geometry here. And it's going to start to look real blocky, and it's going to start to look not very nice. But unfortunately, for some people who use low-end computers, that's just the way it's got to be. So we'll keep a little bit of shape. You see it introduces a little bit of weirdness, but it's not the end of the world. So we'll get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. So it's really blocky at this point. As far as like these are concerned, we can remove this, that, and that. Oops, and that. And you see that's now turned into like a square. And we remove this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Do the same on the other side. Bang, 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 bang. Oops, that one, that one, that one. You do that, and you see it's like really low poly now. It's really starting to look a little bit naff. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that loop. Things are looking real rough, but it's exactly what it needs to be. So this needs to be cut 10 now because we're not worried about it. That needs to be cut 1. We go over to this, import the mesh, love seat, and this is our low poly. Look, 1,000. So we're losing 1,000 polygons each go, and you can kind of see it's kind of the same, but we've also lost a little bit of that fluidity and that softness to it. But that's totally cool. That's what we're after. Last but not least, we copy this mesh from our main file. We go over to our shadow mesh, paste that in there. All right, get rid of that cube. This is our real low poly one right here. Make sure the cut is at 0. Re-import our shadow mesh. Oops, sorry. Re-import. That needs to go here. I'm getting it all wrong. Shadow, import, shadow mesh. And then that's really blocky. And that is our 1,000 right there. And if we go back to high poly, you can see we've got all these different colors. Hopefully they will all be nice and lovely. Let us save up. Package has been saved. We're going to go over here, take our package file, open a new tab, go documents, EA, Sims 4 mods, slam it in there, replace the one we have, hit Sims 4, open it up, and we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on. And then, yeah, like I said, I will be cutting all this down to a long form video for everyone to reference back to on YouTube. It won't be edited. It probably won't get many views, but like I'll try and think of like a nice title to get people involved and be like, hey, here's how I make something from start to finish. You know what I mean? I do also have time lapses on there. I have kind of my thought processes, and I walk you through how to make almost anything on there. My next task is to learn how to make lights. I want to make lights next. And then I want to learn how to make window coverings. And then I'm going to do the community a service, and I'm going to learn how to make curved furniture. I'm going to learn how to make furniture that fits perfectly around curved walls. That's kind of the idea, because I struggled with that, and I hate that there is not many curved furniture options. Sims just crashed on me, which is sensational. So we're going to try open that up again. It's all good? Okay. Please, if you would allow me to be not candid for a minute, but I'm just going to have a look and see. How's my TikTok and stuff doing? Yo, my most recent art graders one, 18.4K. Yo, that's pretty nice. That's pretty good. People are still liking the Sims stuff as well. I'm a little bit worried when I start posting stuff that isn't Sims now, because I think people know me as like the Sims guy. And I'm kind of worried, because I like don't want it to fuck anything up. What's the YouTube looking like? People been subbing on the YouTube? Oh yeah, a few people have been. And a few people are looking at the CC. Right, let's resume the game and have a look. See if we can we'll get all these sofas out in a row, all the different colors. See what they look like, boys and girls. And then we're gonna make a real quick I'm gonna show you how I make the thumbnails for them. So how I make the little graphics that go with everything. And then I'll upload it to Patreon. Everyone can have a look. Jobs are good. And how do we feel about that? All right. So here is our sofa right now. It kind of clips in, but I mean, that's kind of natural for Sim stuff, isn't it? I can always shift it forward, I think. Anyway, fuck this off. Let's duplicate it. Oh, look how they sit next to each other. Oh, that's unintentional, but that's really nice. Hang on. So that's our pink. That's our green. That's our cream. Yo, I've accidentally made like a tiling. Like you can tile it. That's kind of sick. And then we'll put the orange in there. There we are, boys and girls. What do we reckon? I guess the final test. Let's sell these. Put this over here. Put that here. Dude, it fits with the set kind of nice. Actually, I might put it in cream. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's see. Does it actually function? Have a sit real quick. Where's our guy? Oh, here he is. Why don't you come have a seat, my man? How you looking? I mean, if you want to talk about functionality, you want to talk about it being functional, I think I've hit the nail on the head. He sits very nicely. Hit me with a nap real quick. How fucked up does this look? Looks fine even from the back. Little bit of foot clipping, a little bit of head clipping. He's a bit big, but I think we can live with it. I think we can live with it. A little bit of clipping, but I think it's okay. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased with that.